Thank you, Bob, and welcome to everyone. Thank you for coming to the press conference today. And before I introduce our new head coach, I do want to say a special appreciation to the search committee. So I'm going to introduce all of them and then let you give them a round of applause at the end. Our co-chairs were Brad Martin, former chairman of the Board of Visitors, and Willie Gregory from Nike Corporation. Also, Mike Freddy from the Highland 100, the president of the Highland 100. Cato Johnson, a former president of the Alumni Association. Tom Watson, an ambassador. Dr. Ed Stevens, the faculty athletic representative. And Alan Graff, president of the Tiger Scholarship Fund. Gentlemen, thank you for your work on our behalf. We're impressed with Justin Fuente. We were impressed with his exciting ideas, his energy, and his enthusiasm. We also were impressed that he was the co-offensive coordinator and play caller for TCU's back-to-back BCS appearances, including winning the 2011 Rose Bowl. He is a native of Tulsa. And Justin and his wife, Jenny, a former volleyball coach, are eager to make Memphis their home for themselves, but also for their two daughters, Cecilia and the newest addition, Caroline. Cecilia is 3.5, is that right, Cecilia? And Caroline is 2 months old? 1 month old. Okay. All right. 2 months old. Okay, 2 months old. Now that we have that correct. So let me introduce Cecilia and Caroline's father. However, let me introduce to you the University of Memphis, the newest Tiger, Justin Fuente, head football coach of the Memphis Tigers.
Ooh, I got to tell you, doesn't get old getting to hear that. That's about the third time I've got to hear it today, and that really excites me. Before I begin, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Dr. Raines for having the courage to make this decision, for the way this whole process was conducted, for her support over the last 24 hours. And I look forward to a wonderful relationship. And I want to thank her and the entire search committee for the thoroughness, professionalism, and obviously for the decision. I also know that RC is going to step down here in a few months, and I look forward to working with him and going into the transition with a new athletic director. I know it'll be a seamless one. I'm looking forward to working with him in his last few months before retirement, and allowing him to kind of show me the ropes here before he goes and plays a lot of golf or whatever he likes to do in his spare time. I got to tell you that this is a big challenge, and I am so ready for this challenge. I've been dreaming of this moment for a long, long time. This is the place I want to be for as long as you'll have me. I'm so honored today to be your football coach. I'm honored to be a member of your community. I'm honored to have my family here. I'm honored to wear blue and be a Tiger. You know, we are going to run our program like a family. You see my two beautiful girls that will probably get loud here in a minute, and my lovely wife, Jenny. Obviously, without Jenny, I wouldn't be here, and I thank you for that. You make me a better person. We're going to run this like a family, okay? And families are honest, families work hard, and families get results together. And that's what we're setting out to do. We're going to reach out to the community, okay? This is going to be Memphis's team. It's the University of Memphis football, okay, but it's the city of Memphis. The city of Memphis, I don't care what school you went to. You live in this city, I want this to be your team. I don't care where you're from. If you live in this city, I want this to be your team. I want you to embrace athletics. You know, that is one of the great things about athletics. It brings people from all walks of life together. It brings young, old, rich, poor, from the north side, from the south side, different racial barriers are broken down through athletics because nobody cares. Okay? You just want something to cheer for. Everyone in here has a love for this university. And I share that love, but I'm just entering into it. I'm just entering into the Memphis family. Okay? And I just want you to know that I'm going to pour my heart and soul into this program. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure our kids act right on and off the field, make sure we're involved in this community, and we reach out because I believe this community is hungry, hungry, hungry for success. And this job is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm ready for it. And I thank you all. I cannot wait to get started. Not that I don't enjoy doing this kind of stuff, but I'm excited to meet the team. I haven't yet, but you know, I've had that part on my calendar lined out from the very first. I can't wait for that meeting. But we're going to reach out in the community, and we're going to play fast, fast, fast offensive football, and we're going to recruit fast, fast, fast defensive players. And I can't. It's going to be exciting. They're going to be well coached. We're going to be disciplined. Okay? And we're going to build this thing the right way from the ground up, okay, with everybody's support, okay, with everybody cheering us on the entire way. Okay? We're going to involve everyone in this program. This is your program. Like I said, I cannot wait to get started. If I'd like to open it up for questions now, if anybody has any questions.
Adam, we have Glenn Carver in the back, News Channel 3.
I don't think I need the mic. I'm so loud, Justin, but welcome to Memphis. From what you know about the program, what you've been able to find out in these last 48 hours or so, what are the biggest challenges that this program faces?
Well, we have several. We've got to engage this community. That is the first thing that we've got to do. You know, we've got to. I want people to feel invested in our program. I want them to feel like they have a chip in the game, and we've got to reach out to the community to continue because they will support you, and we need to reach out there. That's the first thing that we need to do. On the field, you know, I'm a little remiss. I haven't been around. I don't know exactly where we're at there. I'm looking forward to finding out. You know, obviously we're in the middle of recruiting. We've got to build a staff together. Those are two challenges right there. You know, we are a little short on guys right now, so that's one thing we'll have to build up, and you can't just do that immediately. Okay, we have to. That'll take a few years. You know, but the biggest thing that we'll have to do from the football side is we've got to get a staff together. We've got to hit the ground running, recruiting, and then from a program wise and community wise, I want to get people involved in what we're doing.
George Lapidus, WHPQ Radio.
Justin, if you don't mind, I want to preface this with something. You are the 10th coach that I have seen introduced here, and all that means is that I'm old. Most of your predecessors have said much of what you have already said, and you've just spoke about reaching out to the community. The previous coach, your predecessor, it was an insulated situation here. And when you say reach out to the community, usually, in a lot of cases, that is done through the media. How open are you going to be, do you plan to be with the media? Will your assistant coaches, for example, be off limits? Is the media going to be welcome to attend your practices? Would you tell us some of your policies?
Sure. Well, I can tell you, basically, we'll have a much more liberal media policy than, from what I understand, they've had here in the past. I'm not going to lay out the exact guidelines of that right now. I can tell you that our practices will be more accessible. Our coaches will be more accessible. I'm not sure what the policy prior to me was with the players, so I'm not going to say that they'll be more accessible. I don't know what it was. But I think, all in all, the media will feel like it's a much more open book.
Hi, Coach. You said you had not met with the team yet. What will be your message to them, a team that's coming off a 2-win season and has not had a whole lot of success in the last couple years?
Sure. Well, part of that's between the team and I, and I'm going to keep it there. But, the other part of that is I understand where they've been. In my playing experience, I've been through my playing experience, without getting into it, led to several different coaches, and that's an odd feeling. You're not going to play for the guy that recruited you, okay? So I'm going to address a little bit of that, and the only way for this to work is if we all buy in to what we're doing. We can't have dissension, and we've got to all be together. And so we'll talk a little bit about that, and then I'm going to just tell them a little bit about myself. A strange man walks into a room, and now he's supposed to be your coach. I imagine that's a little bit of an uneasy feeling. You don't know that much about him. Okay, so, we'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit, and I'll lay out some guidelines of what I expect from them. And, the number one thing will be finishing up finals right now. But, we'll lay out some guidelines, and then, make sure they finish the semester on the right foot. And then when we come back, we'll really hit the ground running.
Coach, obviously the school needed a head coach. What made this job a fit for you?
Well, I think there's a lot of great things about Memphis football. We just got to get to them. And that's location. There are good athletes in this city, in this region, in this part of the country. I think you play in a league that you can be competitive in. Pretty familiar with Conference USA. I think it's a league that we can be competitive in. We have facilities that are competitive with the people we're going to play against. Okay, now in this part of the country, obviously you have to recruit against some other people. But I just think that this has some tangible things that excite me, and it has some intangible things that really excite me. That I really, really, really believe that this community is ready to get behind this team. And I think we can do it.
Hey, Coach, welcome to Memphis. First of all, what makes you feel that you have the unique gifts to get this program where you say the people here want it to be?
I just have them. I can recruit. I'm organized. I've been a part of a great program. I'm not going to make the whole conference, the whole press conference about that, but I was a part. I've seen how it was done, okay? And at the last place, we didn't always have the biggest stick, okay? And we got it done, okay? So I've seen how it can be done. And, you know, X's and O's and offense and stuff like that, I have a great background in on top of that. So I've seen the program, I've seen the blueprint, I have the blueprint, okay, of how it was done in what I would consider to be a similar situation 10 to 12 years ago.
Justin, can you talk about your timetable with TCU? You start immediately, and will you take us through the last 24 hours of how this all developed with you being hired?
Well, it's been a whirlwind. My timetable with TCU, talking to Coach Patterson last night, obviously I'm not going to coach in the bowl game. There's just no way I can get back there and do an adequate job. It wouldn't be fair to those kids or the staff. They have, you know, more than competent people to step in there and do a great job. I expect them to play well in the bowl game. So I'm full-time Memphis's coach. I'm not going to split duties. What was the other question? I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, the last 24 hours have been exhilarating. You know, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I was in Fort Worth and we were getting ready. I actually put my stuff from the interview in one of my files and said, well, that was fun. I really did. And you know, I said that was a great experience. I got into the office earlier. I wrote all the thank you notes to everybody that are actually in the mail to you all right now. So you might get one of those here shortly. But started my day, and then my phone started ringing off the hook, and we got closer to it and closer to it and closer to it. And I talked to a bunch of people, Jenny, and you know, people that I've worked with, and so on and so forth. And I actually went to practice yesterday with TCU and went out there on the field. We had a short practice, and you know, knew I had a chance to really probably, you know, to be the last one there. Obviously, didn't say anything to anybody, but you know, it wasn't final. But had a good practice, and then got off the phone and sprinted to the car and jumped on the plane and came here and slept in Brad's guest house and didn't sleep but about 10 or 15 minutes and woke up and started the day. So it's been a lot of fun.
Coach Fuente, Leroy Watson, TigerSportsReport.com, Memphis Rivals. Since you have so much work to do assembling the staff, I'm assuming that you will not be coaching the bowl game. And kind of as a trailer to that, do you have an idea of who you want on your staff, and do you have a timetable for hiring your staff?
Yeah, no, I will not coach in the bowl game for TCU. I have a great idea of what I want to do on staff. Without getting into all the specifics of it, which I'm not going to do right now, I do have a great direction and a great idea. There's a lot of coaches out there that want to come to this place. There have been good coaches here. I will talk to all of them. Timetable will be, we're going to go fairly quick, but I'm not going to rush things, you know, to make a mistake. So I have an idea of the general direction, or at least the initial direction, to move quickly on, and I think you'll see it probably come in bits and pieces after that.
Hey, Coach, welcome to Memphis. Corey.
Thank you.
Hey there, ABC 24. Quick question. You mentioned you wanted to make this Memphis team. What would you do different to assure that the community support is behind you and that this is Memphis's team?
Well, you know, I'm going to get out and beat pots and pans in the street if I have to. you know, if I have to speak at every if I have to speak at every Boy Scout, Kiwanis Club, whatever we have to do. The second thing is my staff is going to be involved in it too. I think it's important for the community to know everybody involved and not just me. I think it's important for those guys professionally, for dreams they have down the road, to be involved in that sort of stuff. And plus, they need to be, you know, they want to know people too. It shouldn't always just have to be me. So, you know, we're going to get out there and do everything we can. You know, I've talked about, you know, we're going to open up our program just a little bit compared to maybe what it's been here in the past. And the last thing is we're going to display our kids too. You know, the type of kids